Hello, everyone. Today I'd like to discuss the benefits and challenges to being a family-friendly streamer. And I've been a family-friendly streamer for about 5 years, and I've had some challenges, and I've enjoyed some benefits, and I'd like to share those with you. The first one I'll discuss in terms of benefits is the accessibility of it. Kind of implied in family-friendly is it's safe for work content people can watch. You can play in the family room without any concerns, and that's obviously a benefit is accessibility. There's also the massive amount of support, at least in my experience, when I explain, oh, I do family-friendly content, people think, oh, that's so great. And the first thing they always say is, wow, I could never do that. So expect a lot of that. Advertiser-friendly also. So obviously, there's a lot of controversy on YouTube because someone says, oh, this video got demonetized because I said one bad word in the beginning. This is really something you never have to worry about, which is a benefit. Another benefit is self-control. So this is sort of from a personal development standpoint. You can breed less negativity in the world if you control yourself, and I think there's something to be said for that in terms of benefits. And then lastly, there's just creating wholesome content and wholesome communities. There's an inherent benefit in that. People enjoy wholesome content, and I think that's something that you can enjoy when you're part of the community as well. Now the 5 challenges I want to discuss with you. The first one is, and this is the most, I would say the biggest issue, is no one's definition of family-friendly is the same. So when you say family-friendly, you might have a very specific idea about what that means, what you're allowed to say, what topics you're allowed to discuss, the manner in which you conduct yourself, even the content you engage with, right? But not everyone's is the same. So I'll give you an example. Let's say, I want to be a family-friendly streamer who only plays family-friendly titles. Well, what's a family-friendly title? Are we talking EC early childhood? I have a feeling there's not a large market, A, of people that want to do that, and B, that only would watch that content, at least on Twitch, right? So maybe it's just E. Well, what about E10? What about T? Do you feel strongly about profanity? Because there's plenty of E10 games that have profanity in them, or violence, or whatever you would consider unfamily friendly. So you really have to figure that out, and that is not an easy process. And at the end of the video, I'll discuss what I would consider to be family-friendly, at least within the context of live streaming on Twitch, and we'll get to that at the end, so stick around for that. The second challenge is there's only so much control that you have, and I want to illustrate that with some graphics, which I'll switch to now. Okay, so this is actually from the Family Friendly Live document. I run a team called Family Friendly Live, and we are a group of family-friendly creators on Twitch. And so thinking about areas of control, I kind of separate it into 4 categories. You have the broadcaster, which is essentially you're the individual. That's A. B is the text chat. C is the content, whatever you're streaming, whether it's a game or it's artwork you're creating or whatever you happen to be doing. And then D is the audio side. So not every stream is going to have this component, but if you're playing like a game with people where you're in a Discord voice chat or something like that, there's now an external audio chat factor you have to deal with, essentially. So A, the broadcaster, you have complete control over yourself. So that's, if you promise yourself you're not going to do X, Y, Z, that is completely within your control. B, there are bots, there's filters, there are tools you can use to help really control this, but it's not going to be as easy to control as yourself. And then the content, this is obviously widely variable. So if you ever do a blind playthrough and you don't know what the game is going to be, you have no idea what the content is. And so that's one issue. If you're watching a random YouTube video, that can be really risky too. So C is unless you're very strict and you really curate and you screen everything before you stream it, C is kind of a wild card. And then D, of course, can be also if you have some trusted friends that know you're a family-friendly creator and they respect your rules, they respect your boundaries, and they adhere to what you would consider to be family-friendly, that's less of a concern. But generally speaking, if you give them no preamble, you give them no heads up, D can be dicey also. So that's another thing I wanted to highlight in the challenges. Okay, challenge number 3. We all make mistakes. So even if you make a commitment to being family-friendly, sometimes you can slip or make an innuendo, even by accident or something. And of course, since everything's live, you can't, in an actual family-friendly production that's more traditional media, you just edit it out or you fix it or you tweak it. But if it's live, it's there, right? And people are going to clip it or they're going to call you out on it or whatever. You just have to be willing to say, look, this is the internet. It happens. I'll make mistakes, and then just brush it off and move on. And also the audience watching that expects family-friendly content should also, to some degree, understand, hopefully, although many will not. The fourth challenge is you will attract a lot of cringe. And by that I mean a benefit of being a family-friendly creator is that there's not a lot of toxicity, and that's, trust me, a massive benefit. But in its place, you will get a lot of cringe. And so this can be people that are sort of disruptive in chat to like maybe they have some kind of social unawareness and they incessantly annoy others in chat, or maybe they're annoying you, or they'll derail conversations, or everyone, if you're a live streamer for any period of time, you'll be familiar with the phenomenon in which you're streaming and then someone just throws the most depressing fact in chat and it just completely kills the mood, right? So these are the kind of things that you're going to attract by being family friendly. It's kind of inevitable. So I'd recommend preparing for those things, having a game plan, because not these people aren't always necessarily doing something wrong. So you have to figure out ways to kindly guide them. And a great mod team can be really helpful in this case, but that's probably for another video. Challenge number 5 is, after kind of everything we've discussed, obviously you're limited to what you can stream. There's a limitation inherent in family-friendly streaming. So obviously things like blind playthroughs are kind of risky because you don't know the content of the game. You can't kind of just randomly watch videos. You have to kind of be careful about what music you play on stream, right? So there's an inherent limitation. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is a challenge you have to work through. And lastly, since we're at the end of the video, thank you for making it this far, I'll share with you my definition of what family-friendly means. So specifically within the context of Twitch, which is a 13+ site, that almost implies a PG-13 expectation, right? So this isn't a Methodist youth group. This is a live streaming website where the limit is 13 and up. If you're under 13, you shouldn't be on Twitch according to the user agreement, right? So with that in mind, I'm pretty flexible when it comes to this definition. Personally, I'll hold myself to a family-friendly standard, and that means no swearing, that means avoiding sexual topics, that means kind of conducting myself in a way that's positive, and I try to be open to anyone that wants to join, pretty much any kind of person. I would say the only thing I don't really tolerate is like somebody with a bad attitude, someone that wants to just cause mayhem and destruction, right? I'm not really going to tolerate that, but I'll tolerate mostly any kind of person that wants to be in the chat. And then I would say the text chat is held to that standard too, where we just have filters where people usually can't use profanity. We have on familyfriendly.live, we have a comprehensive bad words list that's really helpful. So you can basically spit it into the Twitch filter, and right away you'll have a much more family-friendly chat, which is nice. But when it comes to content, I'm far less strict. So I've even streamed M-rated titles before, and that might seem a little crazy, and I understand, but I think depending on the M-rated title, for example, remember that Halo is an M-rated game, right? And I would say if your audience are all 13-year-olds for some reason, which is very rare, by the way, you're playing Halo, you're conducting yourself in a family-friendly manner, I don't think that is the least family-friendly experience you could think of. And put it this way, you're definitely the most family-friendly Halo stream on Twitch, right? So if you look at it that way, the most accessible live streams on Twitch could be considered the most family-friendly of your options, right? So if, for example, if you're a parent and your child has to watch Twitch for whatever reason, I don't know why that would be the case, but as an example, a parent might say, okay, well, at least I can go to this team or this group of people that considers themselves family-friendly in some degree, and I'm going to feel better about that rather than just someone completely random. And then from a safe for work standpoint, you can, during your work break or whatever, you can watch something with reasonable understanding that you're not going to hear something really vulgar or really offensive being shouted, because the live streamer's voice is generally louder and more pronounced than whatever gameplay audio there is. So all that to say, that's kind of my definition. I know there's still a lot of different definitions out there, and I'd actually really love to hear what you consider to be family-friendly in the comments. If you'd like this video, please give it a like and subscribe. I also have a main channel that I will link in the description. So thank you so much, and I'll see you guys on the next one.